Hello and welcome, friends and spiritual travelers. Mystic Al here. We have a pick a card reading today. Today's theme is, what do the signs mean? So the signs and synchronicities that you are seeing in your own reality, what do they mean? What are they leading you towards? What are they trying to guide you to do or change potentially? So we're not so much going to talk about the kinds of signs and synchronicities you'll be receiving, unless of course it's pretty obvious from the cards. It's more so about like the message behind them. May also be associated with like a question that you want to know the answer to, if your guides are trying to give you confirmation on something. So we'll just see what the cards have to say. We have 4 piles for you today. We have pile 1 with the Harlequin Jasper heart, pile 2 with the Lime Opal, pile 3 with the Leopard Jasper, and pile 4 is with the Clear Quartz Seer Stone. So please use your intuition to choose a pile. If you need, maybe pause this video and meditate over the piles and see which number pops into your head. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates and leave the rest behind. Thank you all for being here and watching this video. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And let's get started with pile number 1. Welcome, pile 1. With the lovely Harlequin Jasper heart. Let's find out what your signs and synchronicities mean. So firstly, just a confirmation that you are receiving signs and synchronicities. You're not just imagining things. The universe is trying to lead you towards something, or your spirit guides are directing you to something, giving you a confirmation on something, I think. So let's find out with your oracle cards. We'll start with your angel spirit oracle cards first. The first card is the Surrender Now card, Moth Spirit, number 39. And you have number 40, lovely, Mouse Spirit, tend to the small things. Okay. Well, I said in the intro, if you watched it, that I wouldn't talk about so much about the signs and synchronicities that you may be receiving, unless, of course, they were brazenly obvious. And it's interesting that you have like a progression here with 39 to 40. So you may be seeing like frequent number patterns, I'm getting, pile 1. That may be one way that your spirit guides try to catch your attention, is by recurring numbers or seeing similar like number sequences. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 39, 40, 41, for example. And pay attention to those things, because I think your spirit guides are sort of nudging you to maybe look at the clock at the time that they want you to see like a number pattern, or they get you to look up when you're driving to see like a recurring number on a number plate or something like that. And it's basically their way of trying to let you know that they're with you, that they do have a message for you. They do want you to pay attention. Interesting. So I sense for you, pile 1, that you've been working on something, or there's something that you've been trying to change or manifest. And I think it's getting to the point where you're pushing really hard to try and achieve certain things. You want an outcome, and I sense that you want it quite fast, pile 1. And maybe you're not actually seeing the rewards for your efforts or the benefits for the efforts that you're putting in potentially. So the Moth Spirit talks about like when you are pushing really hard on something, whether it be a work project, or it may even be like a relationship. There may be someone that you have your eye on, and you want to like get to know them a little bit more, to the point where it almost in a sense becomes an addiction, where we're trying so hard to keep forcing something to happen. But what I am seeing here with the Mouse Spirit is that I think that you can have success, and you will have success in your future. I'm getting that from the cards, definitely. But it's mostly about like trying to remember to do those 1%ers, those small things that make a difference in whatever it is that you're trying to do. So if it's a project at work that you're working on, it may be your own personal endeavor, that like your own project, it may be your own business that you've started, something like that. It could even potentially be trying to start a relationship with someone. The Mouse Spirit really calls for you to pay attention to those smaller things that you can do that will make, I guess, a bigger difference in the long run. there may be some things that maybe you're turning a blind eye to, or potentially even just overseeing right now, pile one, that will actually help your goals come towards you a little bit faster and have more success, is what I'm getting. So this could be things like, double checking each email before you send it out to make sure that you've got all the grammar correct, there's no grammatical errors, phrase things the way you wanted to phrase things, you haven't misspelled things. Like, it could also be about being on top of your financial requirements. If you started a new business, making sure that you've got all your taxes correct, that all of your financial requirements are sort of in a row, and you're on top of it. Or potentially, if you're starting your own business or your own project, making sure that you organize things before you go into things very quickly. I do see a lot of fire in this reading. So with the moth spirit here and the deep red and orange, I get that you're a very passionate individual, very driven, lots of fire. You really want this to turn out, and I sense that you really want it quite badly. So the messages that you're receiving right now from your signs and synchronicities, your angels and spirit guides are trying to let you know that, yes, they are supporting your goal, but make sure that you just relax a little bit more and take note of the things that you need to look after that will actually, I guess, progress you further. You may be missing some vital steps in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, or you may just be far too determined to have success and you want a certain outcome, and potentially the universe is trying to hold you back to relinquish control of what will be. The moth spirit also tends to talk about learning to be okay with not knowing the outcome, being okay with being in that uncomfortable phase, in a sense where you're not sure what's going to happen. And I guess when you're in that phase is when you have more time to spend making sure that you've done everything that you can, you've controlled the things that you can that will lead you to success, in a sense. Moving on. Ooh, we have the Don't Stop card. Lovely. Well, that's a good sign, isn't it? We also have the New Moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Beautiful. Interesting. So I was picking up on a lot of fire already in this reading with the deep red and orange in this card. It's great that you got the New Moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, lots of passion. You're very driven. This is just a group that I sense really has a lot that they want to achieve in a small amount of time. I sense that you're a very motivated individual and you want to be the best person that you can possibly be, achieve a lot in this lifetime, I'm getting. And most definitely I see a lot of success on your side. Absolutely, with the Luck is on your side card and the Don't Stop, this is really indicating to me that your spirit guides want you to continue whatever it is that you're doing, that you are on the right path too. If you wanted confirmation as to whether you're on the right path, pile one, most definitely you are. Spirit guides are here very strongly trying to encourage you to keep going on whatever it is that you're working on, whether that be trying to build a relationship with someone, your own personal endeavors and personal projects, or even just working hard at a project at work. They want you to keep working on that. You are on the right path, absolutely. But I think there's just a need to maybe make sure that you cover all of the things that you need to cover, that you're not missing any of the vital steps in this process, because I just see that you want to achieve this right now is what I'm getting. You want to see the success right now. You're very eager to make sure that you can manifest the thing that you want, basically. And I completely understand that. I'm like that too. When I work on something, I want to start seeing the rewards from it right away. But I think there's a lesson in life here of just learning to trust a little bit too, to trust that your guides are supporting you, and that if you have faith in something bigger, that whatever it is that you're working on right now will come to you when it's supposed to, is what I'm getting. But they're definitely encouraging you to keep going, absolutely, with the Don't Stop card here. I am also sensing too, pile one, with the New Moon in Sagittarius. New Moon, it talks about fresh energy, the start of a new cycle. I am seeing that your hard work and perseverance will actually start to have success very soon too. I think also your guides are encouraging you with signs and synchronicities right now to let you know that you are on the right path and that soon you will start to see the benefits of all of the work that you've been doing. So if you have been feeling quite frustrated with not being able to see like the rewards from all of the work that you've been putting into whatever it is that you're trying to work on right now, I do see very soon that will turn around with the luck on your side and the don't stop card, really indicating that there will be growth. There will be, I guess you will start to harvest the fruits of your labor in a sense. Interesting that I'm filming this currently in Libra season of 2020. This is a timeless reading, but when you come across this video is when the time that you're meant to get the message. But Sagittarius season is only 2 months away, so I'm sensing if you're watching this not long after I've released it, then in a couple of months, I think you'll start to really see the benefits for all the work that you've been putting in. And so the signs and synchronicities are also letting you know that, yes, you are on the right path. I think they're trying to let you know that you need to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to ensure that you get the outcome that you want. But just to keep going, that the work that you're putting in will have success very soon. Moving on from that pile one, let's get some further messages and insight from the Commonplace Tarot deck about what these signs mean. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number one about what these signs mean? I do sense that they're on the right path. There's just a need to make sure that they're focusing on every step of the process. They're not missing anything. Then in their need to like rush or being very eager to achieve a certain outcome, that they don't overlook all of the vital steps. Ooh. Okay. So your 4 cards that came out for you, pile one. First card you got is the 7 of Cups in reverse, which talks about alignment, being in alignment. The choices that you've made a decision about what it is that you want, and it's the right path for you. There's a confirmation that you are on the right path, and I think we already got that with the Sagittarius, the New Moon and Sagittarius card, and the Don't Stop card, indicating that, yes, keep persevering with what you're working on. You have the Star card in reverse. You also have the 3 of Swords in reverse. And you also have the 3 of Cups in reverse. Isn't that interesting? All of them in reverse. Wow. I just sense you've been feeling a lot of frustration recently, is what I'm getting. Pile one, because you're very, very eager. You want this to work out. Like, you're determined to have success on this project, to achieve whatever it is that you've been working on. And I totally understand that. But I just think you need to like relax a little bit more too. Have a bit more faith that with the Star card here, even though it is in reverse, the Star card talks about faith. Have a little bit more faith that you are being supported, that your guides are actually here egging you on in a sense. They just want you to make sure that, you know, you're focusing on everything that you need to do. But also with the Star card in reverse and the Moth spirit, surrender now. This really talks to me about like needing to let go of a certain outcome. We've also got the 7 of Cups in reverse, which can talk about choices or decisions to make. I just sense that you're really caught up on like wanting something to work out in a certain way. You have a vision of what it is that you want to achieve or manifest, pile one. And I think like, even though that's really beautiful, I also sense that like there's a lesson here about like, if you let go and just allow things to work out the way they're supposed to, just continue to have faith that if you do the work and make sure that you do everything that you need to do, that you will have success. And I sense it'll probably be a little bit different to what you're expecting, but I think in a real magical kind of way. I think there's a blessing in disguise coming your way. With the New Moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. I just sense that like what you will achieve will be far bigger and greater than what you could ever have imagined. With the 3 of Cups here in reverse and the 3 of Swords, I really just sense that you've been through a period where you've felt stuck, frustrated. You haven't been seeing the success that you were hoping for, but I do sense that you're coming out of this phase very, very soon is what I'm getting. The 3 of Swords in reverse talks about actually coming out of this feeling of heartbreak, of dissatisfaction. And I really see a lot of success coming your way in the few months is what I'm getting. The Three of Cups here in reverse, I sense will turn around in the upright position in a few months, and you'll start to have, so much to celebrate because you'll start to see the rewards for your efforts. So there's a need for you to keep working, keep persevering, even though you may not be feeling as if it's leading you anywhere right now. I think that in time, if you make sure that you do everything that you're supposed to do and learn to just trust a little bit more, there's definitely a sense that you need to have faith in your projects and faith in your guides here, Pile 1, that you will have success and everything will work out, I think, far better than you could ever have imagined. Beautiful reading, Pile 1. Keep working. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you found that this was very beneficial to you and you think that you have some friends or family that may also benefit from this reading, I'd really appreciate it if you could pass it on. That'd be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to Pile 2. Welcome, Pile 2 with the lime green opal. Let's find out what all the signs and synchronicities mean. Firstly, yes, a confirmation that those signs and synchronicities are real, Pile 2. They're not coincidences. You are seeing them. They are actually happening to you, or for you, I should say. That your guides are trying to get your attention. But let's find out why with your oracle cards. We'll start with your spirit animal oracle cards. Your first card is the Bee Spirit. Sweet results await. That's a lovely sign, isn't it? It's good to know. Yeah. And you have number 5. Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. This is the first time I think that's ever come out for me in a reading. What I'm interested also to start with, it's interesting that you've got 2 low numbers there, 5 and 7. I think there's like 80 different cards in this deck, and 2 of them happen to be within the first 10. That may be significant in a way. What I'm sensing for you, Pile 2, maybe you've been going through a phase where you've been feeling a lot of changes in both your internal world and external world. You've been going through a lot of making a lot of changes in your own life, I'm sensing. But I also am sensing that the universe has just been making things change in your reality. Things have been falling apart for you, potentially. Things haven't been going the way that you were hoping for. There may have just been a lot of random occurrences that have happened recently, and you've been questioning what the meaning behind them are, why things are happening the way that they are unfolding. I sense that you've been feeling a little bit of confusion, and you've been maybe asking your guides potentially, or wanting to know why things are happening the way they are, is what I'm getting. I just see a lot of confusion here. But I sense that you've been changing in a real this is a really deep transformative period for you, where maybe you've been forced to let go of a lot of things that aren't supposed to be supporting of the future that you want. What I am getting is that your guides have been coming in really, really strongly, I guess forcing you to face things that maybe you hadn't faced in your past, or dealing with issues that were just niggling in the background that maybe you were just turning a blind eye to, or even unaware to, potentially, Pile 2. So you've been doing a lot of reflection and contemplation about why things are happening the way they are, I sense. Also learning to change certain habits and behaviors that maybe were just holding you back from living the life that you really want. I sense that you have some desires or things that you want to achieve in this life, and I sense that your guides are really supporting you to get onto that journey and to start making big and bold strides to achieving those things. But before you could do it, there were just things that you needed to change, is what I'm getting. Noting you have the Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. You have the number 5. 5s are all about changes. They're halfway from 1 to 10. It's the turning point where you can't go back anymore. So you've been doing a lot of in a way, a lot of soul searching about what it is that you want from life, what's actually in your best interest to continue, what you need to let go of that was preventing you from being the person that will actually be able to achieve these things that you want to achieve. But also, I just sense there's been a lot of like external changes in your world too. So, remembering that when we do a lot of like internal shadow work and we start to accept parts of ourselves that maybe we were too afraid to look at previously, we start to like let go of certain habits or addictions or patterns that just weren't serving us anymore. That starts to be reflected in our internal world, external world, I should say. Like things start to change around us. Things that aren't serving us anymore in our external world start to fall apart too. So you may have gone through a breakup in a relationship recently. You may have lost your job during the pandemic. There may be You may not be receiving as much joy and satisfaction from certain activities that you used to in your past, and so you've sort of reduced, I guess, the attachment to those things. You're not so much addicted to them anymore. You're making a lot of like changes in your own patterns and the way that you live, and I think you're probably starting to see a lot of changes in your external world too, is what I'm getting, pile too. But with the bee spirit here, number 7, sweet results await. I just sense that all of this work is not for nothing, right? That all of these changes and this feeling of being like a little bit confused and stuck potentially, where you've been like forced to have a look within and accept parts about yourself, is actually leading you somewhere big. Like, I sense that in 2021 you're going to see a lot of beautiful things come your way. I just sense that you're being led to like sort of on the right path, in a sense, where, not to say that you weren't on the right path at all, pile two. I just think that maybe there were things that you needed to let go of that weren't supporting your journey, I guess. That you're ready now to like level up and to go after whatever it is that you want with more vigor, more aggression, more passion, and more confidence in yourself, because you're not, partaking in certain habits or addictions or even thought patterns that were holding you back, is what I'm getting. So these things are happening for a reason. I think in terms of the signs and synchronicities that you're receiving, I think your spirit guides are basically trying to let you know that like that they're supporting you. They want you to keep doing the work that you're doing, that soon you will start to see, or at least have clarity about like why all of this stuff has been happening to you. I guess they're trying to let you know that you're not alone through this really like troubling and trialing time, that they're here supporting you, that all of this work is leading you somewhere. So I just sense that they're trying to let you know to keep going, to not give up, to sort of persevere through this feeling of unknown, where you're not sure what's happening in your external world, in a sense. And I really empathize with you, pile too, because I've been through this myself. I went through like, I guess, 2 years where things fell apart in my external world. I lost my job. I had some financial battles. I kept getting a lot of like bills and fines, and I was just like, what is happening here? Also, I've just noticed too, if you can see, there's a 5 there in the dice on the bee's back. So most definitely this is a very deep transformative period for you. There's a lot of change happening internally, externally. Anyway, as I was saying, I was forced to like change a lot of things in my life too, like certain habits and addictions that weren't serving me. And I've come a long way in 2 years, because in a way, I just stopped getting a lot of satisfaction from those things. And I sense that maybe that's happening for you, that the things that used to satisfy you or used to enjoy partaking in the past are no longer bringing you the joy that you were hoping for anymore. And just know that that's for a reason, because there's better things to come, is what I'm getting. Ooh, you have the If You Believe card. If you believe. And you have the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. Okay, there you go. Right. So I am getting a sense, I'm picturing actually the Hanged Man in my head. It kind of feels like Hanged Man energy, where you've kind of been feeling a little bit stuck recently. Things that you've been working on, or even things that you like doing, just aren't bringing you the satisfaction that it used to. You're not having the success that you were hoping for with all of the work that you're putting in. Things are falling down around you, and it's just a really confusing and trialing time for you right now, pile 2. But as I mentioned, very soon you will see clarity, that the bee spirit here, sweet results await. and the full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. So soon you'll understand why you went through all of this. I sense it's because it's leading you down a certain path that is like your life calling in a sense, at least something that will give you more satisfaction. This is kind of a leveling up in a way, and leveling up isn't easy, right? Like, it's not just all peaches and cream. It's not just like, oh wow, like my life is suddenly getting easier and I feel great, amazing. Look at all of this abundance and things starting to work out in my favor. It's not like that. If you want your life to be better, you have to work for it. You have to go through the darkness to see the light, right? And I really just sense in a few months, you'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think you'll start to feel better within yourself. You'll be relieved and really proud of the fact that you've managed to change things that weren't working for you. You'll have more clarity about why you went through this really dark period, is what I'm getting. And with the if you believe card, I really just sense that this is about you continuing to believe that things will change, that things will get better. Because this is a very deep transformation. You're changing in ways, I think, pile 2, that I don't think you could even imagine. And you've just got to persevere. So the signs and synchronicities are coming in to let you know that, you know, all will be okay, that you are on the right path. This is all happening for a reason, and that you will get through this. You know, have faith in your own strength. Have faith that you have the willpower and the determination to make these changes, and that you'll start to see the benefits very soon, which is really beautiful, pile 2. I also am seeing too that if there was something that you're working on also, so if you've been working on something and you haven't been seeing the rewards that you were hoping for, I just sense that though, even though it may be frustrating that like you're not getting the rewards that you were hoping for, with the sweet results await and the if you believe card, I really sense that if you continue to persevere, even though it's challenging right now, that soon you will have success, that you will start to see things changing in your favor. So the message really is quite strong, just to keep working through this. It's a troubling time for you right now, I sense, almost like a dark night of the soul in a sense, where you're just wondering if the darkness will ever end, if you'll ever feel better, if you'll ever have success, if these like really horrific things will stop happening to you. And the answers are yes, because you're changing in ways that you could not imagine right now, is what I'm getting. But let's get some further messages for you, pile 2, from the Commonplace Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number 2, who are going through a deep transformation right now? A rebirth is assured. Any messages, please, Spirit, for pile 2? Ooh, that just jumped out of the deck. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 2? One more. Okay, so you've got 3 cards that have come out there. Your first card, ooh, is the 5 of Wands in reverse. Ooh, there's 2 cards there. Okay. I didn't see that, but you have the 10 of Swords in reverse. You have the 8 of Cups in reverse. Right, now that's really interesting. You also have the King of Cups in reverse. Wow. All of the cards in reverse, which actually happened to pile number 1 too. There's kind of a similar message here to pile 1, so you may also get some further messages from pile 1, pile 2. If you were deliberating between pile 1 and 2, I sense that maybe there's messages in both piles for you. But what I am seeing, right, I just see a lot of pain here, actually, with the King of Cups in reverse, under the 10 of Swords in reverse, and the 5 of Cups in reverse. Sorry, the 5 of Wands in reverse. Now, you've been doing a lot of battling internally. There's a lot of disharmony in here. I sense that you've been, like, resisting changes, too, with the 10 of Swords in reverse, indicating that, like, I guess the 10 of Swords is the end of a cycle. It's, like, kind of the death of the ego in the sense, really. And that's really what's happening right now with you, pile 2. It's kind of an ego death. And what is an ego death? An ego is... The death of the ego is when you stop sort of, like, resisting change, where you are forcing things that you used to have satisfaction with that no longer are serving you or giving you the pleasure it used to. And resistance is part of growth. Like, so don't feel bad about the resistance. I completely understand it. Like, it's just a normal phase of growth. Like, and we need to keep building up this pressure essentially until it gets too strong that we just no longer can stand it anymore. So the more that you resist pile 2, in a sense, the closer you are becoming to this deep transformation. It's interesting that the Ten of Swords fell on top of a rebirth is assured card. So you're getting closer and closer and closer to this point where you can no longer keep pretending that the things that you want to do in your past are actually giving you the benefits that it used to. I sense that you may be feeling a little bit of guilt potentially also, or disappointment when you partake in certain things that aren't serving you, or if you are, I guess, turning a blind eye to dealing with things that you know you need to deal with. I sense it's becoming more and more prevalent in your life. Like, if we don't learn certain lessons, they become stronger and they become more frequent. And I sense that you're having to face these things more and more until you eventually just make the changes that you need to. And you will get there, definitely, pile 2, absolutely, with the sweet results await. The If You Believe card, and also with the full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. There will be a time where you'll see clarity, where you'll believe more in yourself, where you'll get through this trialing time. There's just a need for you with the Eight of Cups here, also indicating about walking away from things that aren't working for you anymore. She's setting off, looking for the 9th cup, what's better than the things that you've done already? There's a different path for you to be going down, and first you need to strip away those things that just no longer serve you anymore. So talking about the death of the ego, pile 2, it's just about I guess putting our own needs first, or the things that we think are good for us, letting go of those things that are preventing us from being the best version of ourselves, and living the life that we know we can and should, in a sense. If you believe, you will get through this, absolutely. You have the strength within you, pile 2, and trust that your guides and your angels are here, leading you down this path, supporting you through this really challenging, heartbreaking time right now. But a fresh start is coming very soon, and you're going to feel so much lighter, more at ease with yourself, and having so much more belief that you can achieve whatever you want, knowing that if you've managed to get through this period, you can do anything, which is really beautiful. That's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you felt that this was very beneficial to you, and you think it might be beneficial to friends or family members that are going through something similar, I'd really love it if you could pass it on to them. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3, with the lovely Leopard Jasper. Let's find out what all of the signs mean. Firstly, just a confirmation, yes, pile 3, all of the signs and synchronicities you've been receiving are real, that you're not crazy, they're not coincidences, so don't sort of dismiss them as just, happy occurrences. They do have meanings. Your angels and spirits are here trying to get your attention, so let's find out how and what they mean. We'll start with your animal oracle spirit cards. You have the Badger Spirit. He's so cute. Number 4, be fearless and bold. And you have number 13, interesting, the Cat Spirit, claim your independence. Number 13, lucky for some. Firstly, what I'm drawn to is the 4, and 1 and 3 reduces to 4. So you may be seeing recurring numbers. I didn't plan on talking about what signs and synchronicities you may be seeing, unless it's brazenly obvious, but 4 and 4, you may be seeing 444 quite frequently, or just seeing recurring number patterns a lot. And maybe if you look up at the clock at certain times and you see recurring number patterns all too frequently, just trust that that's your guides nudging you to look at the clock at that time, because they want you to see those recurring number patterns, to realize that they're trying to get your attention. And basically I see from these cards, with the Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold and claim your independence, I just think that maybe there's something that they're really encouraging you to go after something, is what I'm getting, pile 3. So if you are starting a new project or you've wanted to start a new project, if there's somebody that you're interested in and you have your eye on and you're wondering if they're interested in you also, or even if you want to travel or you want to go somewhere, or you want to move or something like that, if there's something that you have your heart on that you've always wanted to do, then I see your spirit guides are basically indicating you, yes, now is the time, go get it, make it happen is what I'm getting. Don't let your fears get in the way. Like, I just sense that maybe this is a group that can possibly allow your head to get in the way of actually doing things, that maybe you analyze a lot, like over and over in certain situations. This is a group that potentially is a little bit wary of making decisions. You want to weigh up the pros and cons all for a long time and make sure that the decision that you make is the right decision. But I think at some points in time, you just got to get off your ass and do things, like you learn from your mistakes. If it doesn't work out, then I guess you learn not to do that again and try to do it in a different way or try something completely different. But what I am seeing is that you are being supported right now. You are being encouraged most definitely to give it a go, to start this thing that you've always wanted to start, to move to this place you've always wanted to move to, or to, tell this person that you're interested in them and just see what happens, basically. You may also have, I'm just picking up on, this might be a group that has like a life path 4. Noting also that with the life path 4, if you have if your birth year, month and date reduced to the number 13, which then reduces to 4, which happens to be my life path number, pile 3, I have 13 reducing to 4. 13 is actually, this is actually a karmic debt number. So you've probably bought into this life some karma that you've had to work through. And what I think it's about is you actually learning to change the way that you perceive like the need to manifest things in your world. It's about like changing your mindset from feeling as if you need to just like push on a certain project, or even overcoming your fears about maybe weighing up the pros and cons and deliberating when you should do something or not. It's about like having confidence that you have the ability to change things for yourself and to change your life for the better. 4s are all about like a solid foundation, so getting things right, building things from like something that is really solid to start with. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Tower card in a sense, where the tower falls because it was built on a rocky foundation. It wasn't stable enough. It wasn't supposed to be in our lives. It wasn't supporting our best interests in a sense. So potentially you've also been through a period, pile 4, where things just weren't working out for you for some time. You may have lost things in your life that you were hoping to hold on to, or things that were very dear to your heart. But those things have exited your life because they were never really supposed to be there, or they weren't like within your best interest for the person that you want to be in the future, or the path that you're supposed to go down in the future. I also am seeing here with the Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. It's about sort of facing your fears too, having the courage to overcome the things that are holding you back in a sense, like, getting the courage within to face the things that maybe you've turned a blind eye to in the past. Also, I sense it's about like having the courage to keep persevering through this period where I sense things are just falling apart around you and you're wondering why. There's very strong similarities here to pile 2. So there may be a message there for you also, pile 2. Pile 3. But I am sensing that like, it's kind of twofold. So the signs and synchronicities are letting you know that yes, you are going through a tough period. These things are happening for a reason though, so try not to get too down on yourself or to allow like this hard period to get the best of you. Keep facing your fears, keep working hard, keep doing the things that you know will help you get through this period. But also it's letting you know that like the things that you want to do right now that you've always been dreaming about in your future, now is the time. Like, it's a great time to start afresh in a sense and to work on the things that you've always wanted to do, is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. So yeah, your spirit guides are letting you know that A, you're not crazy. You are seeing these messages. B, it's a tough period right now because they're letting things fall apart in your life that are stopping you from living the life that you want. And C, to start working on those things that actually are the life that you want in a sense. Moving on. Oh, okay, there you go. You had the full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense with what we were saying. Ooh, and you have the Let Go card. Interesting. Yes, so strong similarities to pile 2. Potentially pile 3, there's things that you know that you need to let go of that aren't working for you anymore. This may be certain patterns that you've been dabbling in. It may be like addictions that you have. It may even just be things that used to bring you joy that are no longer satisfying as much as they used to be anymore. You're not getting like that passion or that inspiration from them, or at least they're not relieving certain mindsets that they used to, in a sense. It also may be related to like certain thought patterns that are keeping you small, and preventing you from like going after the things that you want. So what I am seeing too for you, pile 3, is that you've been through a really tough phase. The end of a tough cycle approaches, which is good to hear, right? So just know that this will end soon, that if you've been going through a period where like things have been falling apart around you, where you've had to let go of certain things that used to bring you joy but no longer are, if you are resisting and still trying to do those things, just know that like sooner or later, at some point, you get to a breaking point where you realize that it's just not worth it anymore. So have faith that you have the strength within you to get through this period, that all will work out okay. There's definitely a strong message here that you are supported and that this was meant to happen. Absolutely. And it's also, you can start afresh on like a solid foundation, doing the things or chasing the things that you want in your life that are actually within your best interest, which is really beautiful, I think. And moving on from that, let's get some further messages for you, pile 3, about what these signs and synchronicities mean. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number 3, who are also making some drastic changes right now? They're summoning the courage to face their fears, but also to get the courage to go after the things that they've always wanted to do, to live the life that they've always wanted to live, when they're free of burdens and they're not being restricted by certain things that were not meant to be in their life anymore. Any further messages, please, for pile 3, Spirit? I love that you have the cat spirit there too. Claim your independence, right? Kind of reminds me of the 9 of Pentacles, where you are proud of the things that you've achieved on your own. You've overcome your own demons. You're living the life that you've always wanted to live. And you can reflect upon the past and see how far you've come. So I also am seeing, if this is a project that you've wanted to start, then I see a lot of success coming your way. Absolutely. This is something that will allow you to have like financial independence, pile 3. But I think you need to just sort of make sure that you've got all of those ducks in a row that allow you to be successful and that allow you to do the things that you've always wanted to do, so that you can achieve these things. Ooh, okay. There you go. Some more cards for you. All right. So the first card that's come out that is already flipped is the Moon card. Most definitely about facing your fears. The Moon is all about, like, I guess, dealing with those issues of the subconscious that maybe we not wanted to deal with in the past, that were too scary or too overwhelming. I sense that you're going through a period right now where you're having to face things that just aren't serving you anymore, and like learning that certain patterns aren't within your best interest, or even just having to like accept those things that used to bring you joy are no longer within your best interest for your future, to be the person that you want to be in the future, that you can't keep doing certain things that used to bring you satisfaction. You have the 3 of Cups in reverse. You also have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. And you have the Page of Cups. Okay. Beautiful. But what I am getting to with the moon card there in the Page of Cups, this talks about strong intuition, absolutely. You need to trust your intuition right now, in terms of like, I guess, making the next step, being bold, right? Be fearless and bold and take that next step. So whatever it is that you are feeling encouraged to do or that you have an urge to do, your gut instinct is telling you that you need to do something, then really trust in that right now, pile 3, because that's definitely your angels and your spirit guides letting you know that that's the thing that you need to do, that's something that you need to work on. I am also seeing here too that you may have been going through a period where you've had some issues with certain relationships. With the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Three of Cups in reverse, you may have like lost friends or family members recently, or you may have had to accept that certain people in your life just aren't good for you anymore, and you've had to like make the decision to put boundaries up about how much time you see with them, or even potentially just having to accept that you needed to walk away from certain relationships, or changing the dynamics of certain relationships so that those people can't hurt you or can't put you down anymore. I just sense that this is a group that sometimes have allowed other people to dictate how they feel, that you try to look for, external validation in a sense, but I think you're coming to a phase where you're starting to learn to love yourself, that you don't need external validation. You don't need other people to tell you how amazing you are. You're starting to realize that you're quite amazing on your own, pile 3. And that you have this strength within you to change habits and patterns that aren't serving you. But also I see here with the Three of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, reverse cards quite often also indicate the potential of something, that they haven't actually been untapped yet. There's a potential in the future for these things to unfold. So I just sense that there's a lot of success in your future. You have the cat spirit there, claim your independence. I just think that if you make these changes now, do the hard work, know that it is ending, that you are getting through this, that you will get through this soon. If you continue to trust in your intuition and believe that you have the strength to make the changes that you need to make, but also to go after whatever it is that you want to go after, then I see a lot of success here and a lot of cause for celebration, really. You're being led to living the life that you've always wanted to, pile 3. And just know that this troubling time will end. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you found this reading beneficial and you think it might be of benefit to some other friends or family members that you have, I'd really appreciate it if you could pass it on to them. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 4. Welcome, pile 4, with the clear quartz seer stone. Lovely. Let's find out what all the signs mean, the signs and synchronicities that you've been seeing. Just of note, you are seeing them, pile 4. They are real. They're not coincidences. They do mean something. Spirit is trying to get your attention. But let's find out why with your oracle cards. Let's start with your spirit animal oracle cards. Ooh, you have the fox spirit. Think on your feet. Number 27. And you have the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. Number 63. Okay. Wow. Really interesting. So a lot of the cards, of 3 of the 4 groups, there's been strong number synchronicities or recurring number patterns. So straight away, even though I didn't plan on talking about what signs or synchronicities you may be receiving, it was pretty obvious that 3 of the 4 groups are getting messages through number patterns, recurring number themes. So you've got 2 and 7, which makes 9, and 6 and 3 makes 9. So you might be saying 999 or 99. You may be life path 9, or your destiny number, maybe number 9. But 9 is significant to you. 9 is a very spiritually inclined number. You also have the clear quartz seer stone there, which is quite, I think, synchronistic too. So this is potentially a group that is very spiritual, highly connected to your spirit guides. You're aware that they communicate to you frequently. So this isn't something new in a sense. But in terms of what they mean, what I'm getting is that this is a group that potentially has gone through a very rough period in life. You may have been, for many, many years, dabbling in like addictions, or there may have been certain things in your life that didn't work out for you. With the vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. This card talks to me about like going through a very rough patch in life, where I think maybe things didn't work out, or where you were like turning to external influences, I guess, to try and calm your mind, or just to escape in a sense, like that potentially you were feeling dissatisfied with the life that you were living or the path that you were going down. Maybe you felt trapped for a while and weren't sure what to do to get out of it or to change your life for the better. I'm getting strong Piscean energy from this reading, in terms of like a very strong connection to spirit. Pisceans have that Neptunian energy of connection to something bigger. Their life purpose is sort of molded in terms of like spirituality and trusting in the divine, trusting that their life will unfold down a certain path if they learn to like surrender and let go of certain patterns or addictions. Also noting that like addictions are a very Piscean energy. They need to escape reality because it's just too hard for them. Like Pisceans are very sensitive. I'm getting a very sensitive soul too from this reading. Maybe you are quite empathic also, Pile 4, and that, I guess, in terms of trying to escape those feelings that you were constantly feeling when you're around other people and taking on energy from other people, potentially you turn to, it may even be like substance abuse potentially, or just addiction through like phone addiction or movies or something like that, something that takes your mind away from reality in a sense. And I think this has weighed heavily on you for quite a while, for many years potentially even. But with the vulture spirit there, nothing is wasted. What I love about this card is that the vulture is kind of, in a sense, like it cleans the world. Like it's the animal that will eat anything that, if there's scraps left behind from, say, the fox spirit, and it doesn't want to eat the entrails and the bones, the vulture spirit will come in and clean that away. It gets rid of all the scraps. But this card really talks also about like accepting that the things that you've been through actually have purpose too. That the hard times that you've had to persevere through, where you felt so low and trapped and isolated, or as if like your life is not going the way that you want, that actually has a meaning. That those experiences that you've been through, I'm getting really strong tingles now. I'm feeling this very, 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 it's really talking to me, this reading, in a sense, because I've been through certain experiences in my life where I was a heavy drinker for many years. I had some financial problems. I was in a job that I hated, even though it was a career path. I felt so lost and lonely in that job, and I knew it wasn't for me, but I didn't know what to do. And in a sense, it all came falling apart, and it was for the best. Like, I'm so much happier now where I am. Like, so basically this talks about like knowing that even though you've felt trapped and lost and so alone, and that you've been sort of searching for external stimuli or substances, in a sense, to try and like ease your pain, Pile 4, that all of those experiences actually mean something too. When you come out of the darkness, you can look back on it and go, wow, look how strong I am. Look what I managed to get through. And I just literally saw 555 on the clock about changes. So I sense that you're starting to make changes in your life right now. You can look back when you get through all of this and see how strong you are, what resilience is within you that allowed you to persevere and overcome your own demons. But also then you have so much empathy for other people that are going through these experiences. So you can, in a sense, turn this pain that you've been through into something that is actually of service to yourself. You can make a career out of it by being like a counselor or a motivational speaker, or at least even like getting joy out of being able to help friends and family that are going through their own troubling times and their own demons, their own addictions. You can actually really quite strongly empathize with them because you've been there, you've done that, you know what it takes to get out of it. And if you can do it, then other people can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it, Pile 4. But with the fox spirit here, think on your feet. That's talking to me in two ways. I sense that you are very witty, that you have a strong intellect, that you're quite sharp with your tongue. that you can make people laugh when you want to. So you have a very playful energy also is what I'm getting. I just sense somebody that loves other people, that you love being around other people, and that you enjoy, like, you know, making other people feel good. So a strong, like, compassionate and empathic vibe from this group I'm getting. But also with the fox spirit, think on your feet. I think you already know what you need to do, pile 4, to make the changes that will, like, better your life. That you have, like, a strong intuition, and if you trust your instincts and know what it is that you need to do, that if you make those changes, I just think that your life is going to get better. And very quickly I see you starting to live the life that you've always wanted. In terms of the signs and synchronicities that you were seeing, I think your spirit guides are really calling you for you to start making changes that will better your life, powerful. But also I think they're supporting you in a sense to let you know that A, you're not alone, that they're here with you, and that they're supporting you to make the changes for your best interest, but B, that the things that you've been through are actually beneficial. It wasn't a waste of time. You didn't waste a certain part of your life. These are just experiences that you can draw upon that can actually help guide other people through their own darkness, which I think is really beautiful. So moving on from that. Oh, we have the romance card. Nice. That's beautiful. And you also have the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. There you go. Okay. So it's time for you, pile 4, to start, like, drawing upon these experiences and sharing them with other people. With the show the world the real you, this really talks to me about, like, telling people your story in a sense. Maybe it's time for you to use your keen wit and insight, your intelligence to write a book or a novel about the things that you've been through, how you managed to overcome your own demons, what it is that you had to do to make your life better and the life that you always wanted. And to be proud of yourself too is what I'm getting too. Don't be afraid of the person that you are. I do sense that you are very quirky, a very eclectic and unique individual. And those things that maybe in the past you were slightly ashamed of are actually your strengths, because they make you different to everyone else. Those little, like, quirky idiosyncrasies that you have are actually in a sense your strength, and you should be really proud of them and you should embrace them. They're the things that make people like you even more. But also, too, with the romance card, I really just sense that's indicating that there's love coming your way, too, that when you actually come out of this, you come out of the darkness, you've made the changes that you knew you needed to make, the changes that you knew you needed to make. You've overcome your own addictions and your own demons. I think maybe you'll be rewarded with meeting your soulmate in a sense. It's when we vibe high, right? When we are in our best possible state, or at least, like, living the life that we want, and we're in a happy place where we're radiating positivity. That's when I guess we are more open to receiving love. It's also when I really truly believe that's when, like, the universe sends us your soulmate, the person that is vibing high too, that is meant to be like our divine counterpart, that matches our own vibration, that has similar interests to us. So if you are in a relationship already, potentially the relationship is kind of like going to the next level, it's elevating. Or if you're single at the moment, I really see that when you actually make these changes, and I know it's hard work, most definitely, but I see a lot of, like, love and joy and rewards at the end of the tunnel for you, pile 4, which is really beautiful. So your guides are just encouraging you to persevere right now, to start to see the past that you've been through, about, like, look upon the past and see the silver linings from it, the lessons that you've learned, the blessings that have come out of it in a sense. And then most definitely I see, like, that you could make a career with the show the world the real you, and the think on your feet, that you could use your voice and your intellect to talk about the experiences you've been through as a career, as like a vlogger, or writing a book, or even, you know, doing motivational videos on YouTube or something like that. Lovely. Let's move forward with the Commonplace Tarot deck and see if Spirit has any further messages for you about what the signs and synchronicities mean. Spirit, do you have any further messages, please, for pile number 4 about why they're seeing all of these signs and synchronicities? What do they mean? I really feel for this group because I've been through the darkness too. So if you're still in a place where you're feeling trapped and lost and unhappy, pile 4. It's about making one change at a time. Whoops. It's about making, like, focusing on one thing at a time and starting to make those changes, focusing on one aspect of your life that you can change. And when you actually start to see the changes in your own life, that gives you the confidence and the willpower to start making bigger and bolder changes. Slow and steady is the way to overcoming your demons and to clawing yourself out of the darkness, most definitely. And you have the strength within you, most definitely, because you're the fox spirit too. The fox spirit is very feisty. He's very, very sly, sneaky, but has a lot of spirit, like a lot of determination to catch his prey. You can achieve anything, pile 4, if you put your mind to it. Okay, so you have 5 cards that have come out there. The first one I think is beautiful, which is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, which is all about, like, not seeing the rewards for your labor, right? But in reverse, I always see that as like the potential for that energy to unfold. So as I was saying, like, slow and steady wins the race for you. Making small changes day in, day out will eventually lead you to, like, making bigger and bolder changes where you'll be able to look back on your past and see how far you've come, where you can start to, like, reap the rewards for your efforts, in a sense. You have the 3 of Cups in the upright position, which has come out for 3 of the 4 piles. You have the King of Cups in reverse. You have the Queen of Swords. And you also have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay. What I am getting is potentially you're still in the phase of, like, feeling a little bit trapped or low, pile 4. Maybe you haven't yet started to make these changes, or if you have, you're most definitely not in the phase where you're starting to see the benefits yet. But you just need to keep working. You just need to have faith, because I do see a strong connection to spirit here, that you are being guided, you are being supported on this journey. With the King of Cups in reverse also, I just sense that you've been feeling so desperate to turn your life around. That talks to me about disharmony, of feeling so low and depressed. But noting that you have the 3 of Cups here, and the Queen of Swords too. The Queen of Swords has embraced her darkness, right? She's confident in her own abilities. She tells it like it is. She's very honest and truthful, and has the ability to express things very, very authentically, concisely. She's good with her words too. She's a great communicator. I just see the potential here for you to turn this darkness into a positive, in a sense. You can make money from this, and there'll be cause for celebration here. When you come out of the darkness and share your story, your insight with those people that need it most, that are also going through troubling times, is what I'm getting. That you'll be able to go from, like, rocky waters to calmer waters, and be able to guide other people to make that journey too. And I see love. I most definitely see love too, with the King of Cups and the Romance card here. That if you've been looking for love in all the wrong places, that when you are in a place where you love yourself and you're proud of the things that you've managed to achieve in your own life, then I see love coming your way, pile 3, pile 4. That's all I have for you, pile 4. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.